Hi everybody, my name is Morgan Merriman, Realtor at Remax Alliance here in Fort Collins, Colorado. Thanks for tuning in to the very first episode of Lifestyle Living's Community Connection. Today I've got Andrea Andrews. She is the owner of His and Her Salon on the northeast corner of Remington and Mulberry here in Fort Collins. And His and Her Salon is coming up on their 15th year in business. They are a Paul Mitchell focused salon. And so let's dive right in. Let's get to know a little bit about Andrea Andrews. Thank you for being with me today.
Absolutely. I'm excited to be here.
Good. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you originally from?
So guys, I am a Fort Collins native. I am born and raised here. I was born right here in PBH. So I've been around here in this nice little town in northern Colorado my entire life.
Love it. Yep, being a native, Fort Collins is amazing. I also born at PBH. So.
And you know how I know that? We met in kindergarten. We have known each other more than 30 years. Yeah.
Incredible. So, what made you decide to initially open this business? What got you into hair?
So actually, I was not very studious when I was younger. I hated school. I hated it so much. So one of the things that I always loved to do is I used to cut my Barbie's hair off, and I've gotten a lot of trouble for that because it doesn't grow back. I used to play salon all the time with my cousins and friends, and my mom actually went to beauty school, and a lot of her friends went to beauty school, and one of her best friends ended up working at Paul Chet Studios here in town. Mm-hmm. So sometimes she would have to pick me up after school and she'd take me to the salon, and I just remember like the smells, the conversation, and just loving it as a little girl. And this is when we went to elementary school together. Yeah. So I've always been around the hair industry and loved it, and my favorite thing is when Paul would turn his clients towards the mirror after they were done with the whole experience of getting their hair transformation and just seeing those smiles on their face. And I knew that that's something that I wanted to do. So when I was in high school at the time, you could actually get your elective credits at the school that I went to and go to beauty school. So I graduated beauty school before I graduated high school.
Well, that's amazing.
So I was 17 years old when I first started doing hair.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I love that, seeing seeing that wow factor, seeing,
Mm-hmm.
The satisfaction of the clients.
Right.
I mean, it gives you in any, sphere, gives you that satisfaction.
Yep.
So
yeah.
I love it. I love it. So, obviously starting a business, it's exciting, it's daunting, it's scary. What has surprised you the most in owning this business?
Biggest secret ever, you cannot be scared. I didn't even know that I wasn't scared. I just took the leap. I literally just jumped off, went all in. I was 23 years old when I got the keys to my salon that I'm in now. And so I had the opportunity. I went to lunch with my grandmother, and at the time, so the space that I'm in, which is one of your questions, so I'm going to answer it because it's part of the story, is my grandmother owns this whole building on Remington and Mulberry. So my grandparents built this building in the early 70s, and the reason why I'm here and I'm a little diamond in the rough is because I'm also the property manager for this property. So 7-Eleven rents from us, and so does the coin store. And I love it because I get to support my grandmother, I get to support the community. But the biggest thing is when that happened, she was having a really hard time finding somebody to rent the space, and she asked me, if you really want to continue doing hair, would you want this space? And I said, well, are you kidding me? And at first I was a little scared, but it was like you said, it was daunting. I was totally scared, but I figured, what else do I really want to do long term? And this is something that could set me up for life. And so she was awesome. I got a hand out and a hand up because she let me be in this space for the first 2 years completely rent free, as long as I did all the renovations and I paid the property tax for my space. So huge. It was I feel really blessed, and I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for my grandmother's aid and her help with this space. So I'm very lucky that I had the opportunity to take that leap, and it was something that kind of just not like everybody else. It just kind of fell in my lap,
Yeah.
and I took advantage of it. I saw the opportunity and took advantage of it. So
I love it. I mean, that is an amazing opportunity, such a great location. And you said, so what is something that people don't know about your business, and also what drives you to do what you do? What motivates you?
okay. So I think a lot of the things that I mentioned earlier is what people don't know is that I actually, this is a family-owned space. That is one thing that I think usually shocks people. Also, how long I've been in the industry, because I've been doing hair for over 20 years now. So, said earlier, I wasn't studious, but it was because I was uninterested. None of that stuff interested me. So, now that I find things that interest me in my own industry. So I'm constantly doing continuing education, which I don't think a lot of people know that about me unless they are already following me. Said earlier, I do educate on Morgan quite often too. I'm always like, go follow him, because he's always dropping knowledge, guys. So if you don't already follow him, follow him. But yeah, I would say that that's something that is definitely sets me apart as a stylist. The other thing I would say as what keeps me going right now is definitely my kids. I have 3 kiddos. I have a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 7-year-old. So they are now definitely my why. But before...
And going back to, how we change in terms of our desire for knowledge, I think we're both very similar in that.
Yes.
We each had our challenges growing up, through schooling and what have you. But as you grow and you mature and you have a family and you want to grow your business, I mean, I'm constantly searching to better myself and gain more knowledge. But you're right. You don't want to dip and dabble a little bit here and there. You kind of want to find a focus and specialize. So
Yeah.
I love it.